Go live. There we go. I think it's going.
It's alright, dude. I'm not a pretty face, so if I'm frozen, it's okay.
Alright. Live
Everyone
now.
just went away.
Well, I'm gonna see.
I'm not a pretty face, so
I don't see us on YouTube.
it's okay.
It's on
Yeah.
YouTube. I'll post it in the group chat now.
I only see Cody. Highlight of my day.
See, I don't know what your guys' Skypes are set up, if you can see everyone, but... Oh.
As long
I
as we're
can
all
see
there.
everyone.
I can see everyone, but Connor is frozen.
It's alright, Robert. I'll be okay. As long as you can hear me. That's the most important thing.
I want to see your beautiful face.
Alright, can everyone just make sure?
I only see Cody.
Can you guys hear me?
Yeah.
Yes.
And on YouTube, does it work?
Hey, dude, I saw my face on YouTube.
I'm going right now to go check.
So, alright, I think everything's good. I'm just waiting for the go-ahead.
Can hear it.
Connor is
Can you
hear
hear
you,
me?
Dallyn.
Alright. So we can
Dallyn, I
start.
can hear you on YouTube.
Perfect.
Alright.
I had to I have to
think we're
mute
good.
my own YouTube because whatever comes through my computer is going to show through YouTube. So it'll just be a constant echo. So I've turned off my sound on YouTube. It's going. And how are you guys doing?
Going well.
Great.
Busy week?
Super busy.
No.
No, Robert, your week wasn't busy.
Yeah, it was kind of busy.
Let's start because I mean Cody and Dimas were on the show last week on the chat last week. I don't want to say show because then we're not there yet. But Connor and Dimas and Robert, who are you guys? Like, you want to introduce yourself?
Robert, you go first, boss man.
Hey. With my full name?
Hey, this is going to be shown in like 10 years time when there's like 1 million people subscribed to this channel. They're going to go back to like episode 2, the introduction of Robert. So everything you say now is going to be like important in 10 years time. Keep that in mind.
Okay. So, okay, my full name is Robert Valentino Little. And fun fact about my middle name, I was named after a porn star.
Oh, which one?
A guy by the name of Rudolph Valentino. My mom really liked him.
I'm gonna look that guy up later, dude.
He was basically the first Casanova in the 1950s. Yeah.
So, alright, and so Cassie and I are talking about kids' names and like naming kids after other people. You know, maybe they emulate those people. Are you emulating the guy who named you? Like,
I don't kiss and tell.
you don't kiss. I feel like that's what a porn star would say, wouldn't it? But that's a fun fact I didn't know.
You talking to Big Sexy right here.
Shows and tells. Shows and tells.
Hey, I mean, this is an adult show, so we'll see where it goes.
You're gonna have to put that 18 plus tag on this,
I
dude.
might have to. We'll see. We'll see. Connor.
I don't know, man. Okay, so my name is Connor Hansen. I live in Utah. I have a wife and a kid who's 1 year old, and I'm not named after anyone famous.
No one?
Sorry.
So what fun facts do you have for us?
Oh, fun fact? I don't know. I'll let you guys say a fun fact about me. Let's say that.
Oh.
Because I don't know about myself, dude.
Well, okay, so Connor, you served a mission with Dimas and Cody, right?
No.
No?
They served where I lived growing up.
Okay. Did you guys hear any crazy stories about Connor when you
So I
guys
met
got
Connor
there?
when he was
Cody's got a good one. Cody's got a good one.
Which one, Connor? I don't know what you want me to share.
The Deacon Decimator, dude.
That's a family show. Keep that in mind.
So, when I was a missionary, and we were taking Connor out to lessons and stuff. So we're pretty good friends. And there was this like 12-year-old, probably maybe, I don't know, deacons, are they 12 to 14? So yeah, 12 or 13. And he was bothering Connor in the sacrament, the place where we have our worship service. And he came up to Connor, and this is like the last straw. He pulled on Connor's like tie. He pulled it down a little bit, and Connor just looked at this kid and pushed him so violently that the kid like stumbled back, tripped, hit his head on a pew, and just laid still, like on the ground.
For like 10 minutes.
I thought he was paralyzed. And the guy got up and he's like, "We're going over announcements," and he goes to call on the deacons, and he goes, "Well, the deacons' quorum was recently decimated, so we won't ask them how they're doing because there was only one in the church." That's my fun story, Connor. Also, he played rugby in the church and tackled a Tongan guy. That was pretty cool.
No, I didn't know you played rugby, Connor.
I definitely don't play rugby, but
But neither does Alolusio. So
yeah. So there's a big Tongan missionary called Alolusio, and he never worked. So we just always played rugby in the church, and the people I played with were all smaller, so I had to tackle him. So on a carpet gym floor.
Oh, yeah, that already has problems written all over it. But I had some questions for you. So, like, I know out of everyone in our group, Connor's probably the only one that actually, like, follows soccer.
Dimas follows women's soccer.
I follow most soccer when it's popular at the time.
So, have you guys been watching the Women's World Cup?
Absolutely.
Any thoughts?
Yeah, for me, when it was Australia was playing yesterday, I could not believe that they didn't win. As much as they were controlling the ball and getting shots off, I just cannot believe that Australia did not win yesterday.
And yourself, Connor?
I am very upset that Chile did not score a single goal.
But I mean, here's the thing that I kind of want to talk about, because we all watch a lot of sports, and something that's happening a lot in sports is the VR. You know how like VR is becoming like ever so much like used by referees. Have you seen how many goals and disallowed goals have been given so far in the Women's World Cup because of VR? Like
being offsides
yeah,
and stuff.
the offsides, like the ref makes the decision, but then the VR like overrules that decision, and it's happening like so often now that you kind of want to start asking, why don't we just take away the refs? If they're gonna use VR, let's take away refs. And I know they're like, I mean, a lot of us watch other sports and they don't have VR, but where do we draw the line with VR? Should we just take it away? And you know, I mean, then you'll have the referee's natural human mistake factor in games, or do we just say, hey, no more referees, we're gonna go full VR? Like, what are your guys' thoughts on that?
I think you need the VR. You need those replays and stuff, and you do need the ref on the field, obviously, to kind of control situations that might get out of hand. But I think the human error is what makes a lot of the sports great too. Obviously, there's issues like the Saints last year in the playoffs, where it was really blatant, and then the NFL's changing that rule to make sure so that you can actually challenge pass interference calls. But I do think you need the refs there, and you need to trust their judgment, because that's what makes football and other sports exciting, is when there's that human error involved.
Cody, I think, do you have something to say?
I think our friend Eric, who will be on the show next week, says it best, that people get so frustrated about one play not being called correctly, but really, one play doesn't lose a team a game. So, I don't know. I think I like what Dimas said. I really like the idea of having human refs still. I think it is weird that these VR are changing shots and goals. I don't know. It's like stepping on toes at that point, but
I mean, if I had to go into VR and adding it to games and stuff, I like, coaches get one opportunity to use VR if they feel like something, if they saw something and they get it. But like soccer, let's go back to that. If my player was offsides, sorry, if the opposition was offsides and I'm the coach and they just scored on me, I get to use my like white flag to throw out that then they'll use VR to check on that. If I'm right, I keep my challenge. If I'm wrong, I'm wrong. But I don't like it when a ref makes a decision and it's like, you scored, it's a goal, and then the VR is coming out and saying no. Like, I only want VR to come in if a coach is the one throwing that challenge, because then you're keeping that human factor, but then you're also giving that opportunity for coaches to challenge plays that they feel that the ref might be wrong on.
I like it.
You like that?
I mean, I like the way that sounds, just because in soccer, I guess my idea is the places where refs and you get like a lot of disputed calls or games where there's constant movement, right?
Yeah.
So basketball, soccer, like I don't know, I don't watch rugby on TV, but basketball and soccer are big things because there's so many people moving all the time. So there's always things that refs miss, but so replay helps with that kind of stuff because a ref can't be looking at 22 people at the same time, in soccer. So they don't know if everyone's offsides. But also in basketball, because I was thinking basketball, you get missed calls a lot, and there's some big ones. But then in football, a big missed play, it's only, since football is slower, like you expect the refs to be able to do more because you're only watching one play at a time instead of trying to watch continuous action. So I think in sports like basketball and soccer, I'm all for replay being a part, or VR being a part of it, because as long as it's an assist to the refs, like you're saying. So if a coach thinks a ref missed something, they can go to VR. Like in basketball, when a ball goes out of bounds and they want to make sure they get the call right, they'll go to the replay. But they won't replay like charges and stuff like that unless it's something at the way end of the game, right? So in soccer, I think they're letting it get too out of hand. So they need to bring it back a little bit.
Get out of hand for some reason.
Freaking soccer, dude.
Yeah. But, I mean, hey, if the NBA and the soccer end up using our idea, I'm going to claim copyrights, all right? Because I said it today, and I want a piece of that action. But
I mean, in my opinion, I agree with what Cody was saying too. I mean, one play isn't going to affect the game that much. I mean, it can, but oftentimes you see like the tennis players when they challenge the judge, and they show up on the screen. Oh yeah, that ball was out. I mean, if the tennis players get it now, they can make up that deficit easily. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
It's not a huge factor.
Yeah.
But also Cody's a Seahawks fan, so
Stop it.
so the Fail Mary assisted him in life. So
Hey,
Oh, yeah.
I'm
Connor
just
was on
gonna
the
since
wrong end of
we've
that.
like started talking about football, this can actually start going into our next topic. But Connor, I think you got called out this week on a fantasy group Facebook.
Connor, I can't see Connor. Can you guys see Connor?
Connor's face is just frozen on my side.
Okay.
But
Yeah,
guys, I'm not
Cody-
that attractive. So
Cody's
don't worry.
sitting
I
on
can hear
mine.
him. Like his face is just frozen with a big smile over it. But Connor, you got called out on a fantasy group Facebook page this week.
The
Because you're-
fantasy
wait,
couch fan.
What's the reason for that again? Because you're a Green
All right.
Bay fan?
Here's the story, guys. So it was late at night. I was laying in my bed, scrolling through Facebook, as one does when they're trying to fall asleep. And I saw a question pop up. And it said, who is the most underrated wide receiver? And I follow a lot of sports pages on Facebook, so I didn't know it was a fantasy football page. So I throw out, because I'm a Packers fan, Devontae Adams. Why? Because
You spelt his name wrong too.
it was a typo.
What Packers
Okay.
fan are you?
Like I said, it was late at night, okay? late at night. So then I wake up the next day, I'm at work, and all of a sudden I got like mentioned in like 13 comments, and then Dimas tells me you're getting roasted on this group. And so I look, and it was a fantasy football group, and so Devontae Adams in fantasy football world, for people who watch that, is actually, they said he was the second ranked wide receiver because he plays with the best quarterback of all time, and he's the only good receiver on the team right
Did they
now.
say all time, or did they just say like a really good quarterback?
No,
He's a
I
pretty
said
decent quarterback.
He's
Oh, okay.
okay.
so. He's going to catch 100 balls and probably 13 touchdowns, and he's going to be a dynamo in fantasy. But I was just saying the NFL in general doesn't regard Devontae Adams as one of the best wide receivers, even though he has numbers comparable and even better sometimes than Antonio Brown.
Well, I don't know if you realize how big of a deal it was, but you had the creator who's
I
staying in
saw.
the brain. You had the guy who runs the page, who's like a fantasy guru, comments on your
He's
post.
written a couple books on it, and
Yeah, like I won one of his books last year type of thing, and he mailed it to me. And you got a shout out from him, so I just want to say congratulations. But I mean, if that's what it takes to get some attention, then heck yeah. I mean, I think you might go in that group chat. I mean, you'll always be remembered. Let's just say that.
I got like a couple friend requests after that, so I'm basically famous.
Yeah. Talking about that group chat. So Dimas is on it. I invited you, right, Dimas?
yes.
Yeah. I think it was because you weren't doing too hot last year, and I was like, hey, I found this page, so
It
I
was a rough
invited you.
start.
I mean, I'm more than happy to invite Connor because you didn't do too good either. But Cody, you came like second. No, you won it. So
Champion.
we gotta make sure that
And I
Cody doesn't find
and I
it.
dropped Aaron Rodgers because that guy was hot garbage.
So
Hey,
I'm just
Andrew
saying.
Luck.
Talking about fantasy football, we're still
okay,
doing it
fantasy
again, right?
football.
Of course.
Now, you know how we set up our league to be like a one-time thing, we do it, and it's done at the end of the season?
Right.
And I enjoy that, but we need to do that so it's like a yearly thing. But have you guys ever thought about doing a dynasty league?
That's the one that like it's like a keeper league. Like you can pick a player that you got to keep year to year.
Yeah,
Like
so
that.
it
Right?
changes
the
the way
rights
you
to
play
him?
the game because then you have to like, recruit younger guys like, Kyler Murray and Patrick Mahomes so that you have a quarterback that's not going to retire like Tom Brady when you play, a 5-year league. I'm just going to throw this out there now, and I hope Michael and Eric and Robert and that, but I think we need to do that with the boys and make a dynasty league.
The hard thing about that for us is that we always it seems we get 2 people in our league every year who quit playing after the first week, and then we always switch those 2 people around. So we've never had the same 8 people that we have. We always have about the same 6, but it's always the last 2 people we are always
Well,
moving
that's what I
around.
was thinking about, and we go find. I mean, if we make a dynasty league, we do it with like the guys that we know are going to be in it for the long haul. But sorry, I kicked Brian out because his thing wasn't working, and it came through like lag on my side. So if Brian watches this and he wants to join, he can join again. But I feel like we do a dynasty league with like the guys that are already in, and then we keep our like year to year with 10 people, and we can add 2 new people every year.
So I was gonna bring this up with you guys since we're talking about it. So I have a brother-in-law that's really into fantasy, and he's looking for a league to play in because his league kind of dissolved out, like fizzled out or something. So that's an extra person this year that would play. I know he would play because he played even fantasy basketball this year and would like always make a move throughout the whole season, kind of thing. So I don't know. We would just need another person at that point then, who could play year to year.
But now, Robert, you didn't play with us last year. Was there a reason for that?
No, I just have one set up.
Say that
That's
again?
why. I don't have one set up.
You didn't have it set up? Well, I mean,
No.
there could be an extra person, but you got to be like heavy knowledge into football because you're playing football right now. So, I mean, I'd love to see what you could do as well.
I'm mad at Robert because he didn't send me that pic in his football pads, man.
But yeah, we need to decide how we're going to do that because I thought Dynasty League sounds kind of fun. It changes the way you like play the game as well.
Yeah, and I believe I'm the commissioner this year. Is that correct? Is that what I was told?
I don't know.
That's-
I'm okay
I have
with
no
it.
idea.
I didn't think Cody did a
Sounds-
bad job, so I
Cody
don't.
Cody never does a bad job, but
But Cody hates doing it.
there's people. Cody, do you hate being the commissioner, or do you hate that people always accuse you of collusion and
A
Here's my
person.
quote.
A
Here's my
person.
quote. First, I got the collusion beef, and later on in the season, everybody knew the trade deadline. Everybody.
Oh yeah, that was true. That's
It was
true.
set for 3 months, and then the trade deadline happens, and everybody gets mad. Well, I'll say one person in particular got mad at me because he wasn't aware that the trade deadline was at 10 a.m. on that day, and it was trying to push trades through. And I don't know. So I love being the commissioner. I'd totally do it again. Dimas could also take the realm and totally be awesome at it. So he actually might do it this year because I'm going to be in school, and he's just a middle-class living son of a gun now. So
Works in an office.
yeah,
So
got
Hey.
Dimas might be
Dimas.
the dark horses here because I mean he's got all the free time since we're all in school.
Dimas is definitely high class, guys. What are you talking about, middle class?
Yeah, free
He's-
time only.
he's high middle class right now. He's on his way up. Okay.
And then just staying with fantasy, and I mentioned it, and I've been looking at it. Can we, for goodness sake, can we get a trophy going and we mail it to each other, the winner for each year? Like,
I'm not going to mail anybody anything because I won. We all get
and
terms, and I got nothing.
I will buy the trophy, and every year, like, I mean, you won it last year, so you can start with it if you want. You go get your name on it, and then if
Oh, you're
Connor wins
thinking
it,
like hockey.
if Connor wins it next year, you mail it off to him, and then every year, you know, everyone's name goes on
If you
it.
mail me a trophy, Dallyn, I'll put my name on it, and I will send it to the next winner.
All right.
For keep.
For each year, for a year, and then if you win that year's fantasy, you keep the trophy for a year. Because I'm just gonna say this, I want a trophy in my house that people are gonna walk in and see and be like, "Hey, tell me about that." I'll be like, "Hey, I'm the fantasy football champion, 5 years in a row." Because yeah, I'm gonna be
We are
throwing
gonna
some
Venmo
major,
Dallyn $5.
some major. I'm gonna make sure it's not like a heavy duty trophy. It's gonna be able to mail around the country because we're all going our different ways. I mean, yeah, the joys about growing up. But let's move on to our next topic. Chuck Norris. Now I saw a meme this week that Keanu Reeves is the new Chuck Norris.
No.
No, we got one
No.
no. Cody, what do you say?
I'm gonna stick with Chuck Norris.
You gonna say Chuck Norris?
Yeah,
Robert?
Chuck Norris.
Oh man. I would have to say Chuck Norris just because Chuck Norris still knows how to fight. But Keanu Reeves, all the movies that he's been putting out, John Wick 1 through 3, definitely always be my maybe. Super funny guy. The Matrix.
That's hilarious.
But here's the thing, we are a bit older. I mean, we're all past our 20s, 25s now, I guess. Chuck Norris is, I mean, we grew up through elementary school listening to Chuck Norris jokes and that, and listening to our parents talk about Chuck Norris. You know.
We should all say our
The
favorite
modern
Chuck
day,
Norris
the modern day generation don't know who Chuck Norris is. So, is Chuck Norris slowly going to be phased out, and Keanu Reeves is going to be the new Chuck Norris? Because I mean, look, Fortnite's like the biggest game in the world. You don't have a Chuck Norris skin. You have a Keanu Reeves skin.
John Wick.
John Wick.
Yeah. So
Oh dang.
Chuck Norris being phased out.
You can make the same argument about like Tom Cruise. Would Tom Cruise be the next Chuck Norris with all the Mission Impossible movies? You know what I mean? And all the movies that he's done, but Chuck Norris, he's still Chuck Norris.
You can't be the next Chuck Norris if you're shorter than me. You just can't. So Tom Cruise is not the next Chuck Norris.
Okay, but Tom Cruise, going to Robert, like Tom Cruise was, that action adventure, go, steal something from a vault. That's been, like, he's been outdone by all the Jason Bournes and that. I mean, Mission Impossible is old school. Jason Bourne's and like moved in through that category of mission like type of stuff.
Here's my thing. When Keanu Reeves is known as Keanu Reeves instead of John Wick, he can replace Chuck Norris. Because Chuck Norris is Chuck Norris. Keanu Reeves is John Wick.
I know. Sometimes he's Walker, Texas Ranger.
Oh. Chuck Norris, though.
Okay, well, I just wanted to see because, I mean, there's a new game out called Cyberpunk that's coming out, like, pretty soon. I don't know if you guys saw the trailer of it. But
Looking it up.
Keanu Reeves did a little
Cyberpunk.
bit of a cameo in that and looked pretty dope.
Oh, yeah, I see it.
You saw it?
No, I'm looking at it right now for
That's
Xbox and PlayStation 4 as well.
I've never played Cyberpunk, but just because they had, Keanu Reeves and John Wick, I don't know which one acts as who better, but I was like, hey, that looks like a good game.
All right, so what's your stance, Dallyn? What's your stance, huh?
I feel like for everyone born before the year 2000, Chuck Norris is Chuck Norris. But, in fact, 2000, maybe 2010. Everyone born before 2010, Chuck Norris is Chuck Norris. But I feel like these new kids on the block, the new youth of the world, they have little life experience. Keanu Reeves is the new Chuck Norris. I doubt they know who Chuck Norris is if you had to name a movie that he was in.
My son will know who Chuck Norris is.
You keep that, right? Because, okay, so I wrote this down, and since you mentioned your son, I want to talk about this. If your son came back from school, and Cody, you're going to be a father, Dimas is already a father, and Robert, someday you and I will be fathers. So we're going to keep in that mindset, right, Robert? But if your son or daughter came home from school and said, hey, there's this kid in my school named Goku, or Vegeta, or Ragnarok, what are you going to do as parents? Because I know what I'm going to do, and I told Cassidy. But I want to know if it's just me that felt this way, or I want to know what you guys are going to do as parents.
If it's Goku, I'm having a daughter, so I want my daughter to go make friends with Goku. Goku can come play at my house. If it's like Raditz or Frieza, nah, stay away, dog. I don't want none of that smoke.
And you, Dimas?
Same. I would have to say that as well. And if it was also maybe Gohan, I would be like, son, you got to marry this boy.
Yeah.
I don't know, Dallyn. I have no idea.
Hey, I told Cassie straight up, like, I want my kids' names to be unique and special. Like, something that's so out there that, when my kid goes to school, holy heck, if my kid came back and was like, hey, there's this kid named Goku, Gohan, Vegeta, I don't care.
Krillin, dude.
Krillin. Like, there's so many names. Well, maybe not Batman. I feel sorry for that kid. But like Ragnarok, or Thor, or like Khaleesi, or what's the Khaleesi's like husband's name in Game of Thrones? Khal Drogo. Imagine that. Hey, mom, dad, there's this kid named Khal Drogo in my class. I'm gonna be like, hey, next weekend you set up a play date with that kid. I want to meet their parents. We're gonna go out for dinner. Like, that's gonna be your new best friend.
Yeah.
Because
I was reading something. I think it was like 33% of all the girls that were born between when Game of Thrones had came out were named Khaleesi.
Don't you feel sorry for them now?
Joke's on them.
Hey, no spoilers here, but I mean, I always thought the name Khaleesi was cool, but I'm kind of glad I managed to finish the whole Game of Thrones before I named my daughter Khaleesi.
My son's name is Jon Snow. Just kidding. He's not no little bee like him, dude. Chill.
So, okay, Robert. and Connor, yeah, let's actually start with this. Robert and Connor. So last week we decided, and Michael's not here again. I messaged him to be like, hey, are you going to join the show this week? And he said he's going cherry picking with his parents. I hope it's his parents because it's Sunday. But I mean, if he's gone out with a girl, then maybe that's good. But we've decided because Connor, Cody, myself, Dimas, and Brian, if Michael Kennedy, and I'm gonna make a shout out again, is not dating seriously or married by next year or by the time
What time
that,
next year?
well, here's the thing. We're gonna set him up for The Bachelor. We're gonna send an audition tape and nominate him. So I've got
There's
Cassidy
enough
who
dick pics out there of him, so
so I've got Cassidy who's a very big Bachelor slash Bachelorette fan, and she's gonna keep me in the loop when the auditions start to come around. That when they do, we're gonna nominate. So, are you in? Are you guys gonna help? Because Robert, you were Michael's roommate,
Oh yeah.
so I'm gonna have to come over and we're gonna get you in front of a camera and interview you and be like, hey, let's talk about Michael's dating life because we're gonna sell it. We're gonna make like a feature film on Michael Kennedy to get him on The Bachelor. Like the producers are gonna watch 5 hours of us talking about Michael and how much of a, a Casanova romance guy he is and how he will win The Bachelor.
we
I
just
got a
have
whole
to.
I got a whole list ready.
You ready?
He's good looking. He's athletic. I mean,
It's got brick
if,
hands though.
yeah,
Yeah, that's true.
got nice hair.
It's
So
got those big doe eyes.
let's
Yeah,
not give the whole
big
list
butt
away already.
eyes.
But I mean, are you guys just? I'm slowly building this group up. But you guys are
I
in.
think
Oh
I'm
yeah.
looking at the qualifications right now. I found them for the eligibility requirements. So
I think
hit us with them,
he
Dimas.
matches them. Let's go through.
there's quite a there's it's pretty long. It's pretty long.
Let's start with a couple and let's see if Michael ticks those off.
All applicants must be single to qualify as, in parentheses, single. The applicant must not currently be involved in a committed, intimate relationship, which includes any marital relationships, whether or not the parties are separated or currently in the process of divorcing or annulling such marriage. Any cohabitation relationships involving physical intimacy or monogamous dating relationship for more than 2 months in duration.
So the key word there was
Michael qualifies.
He qualifies because he's not. I mean, he might be dating like 5 girls while he goes on the show.
Yeah, he never ties himself down. He's good.
Nothing will be official. So, what's the next qualification?
If you were on the show Survivor, Big Brother, The Apprentice, I don't know what that is. Amazing Race, American Idol, Extreme Makeover, America's Next Top Model, Rock of Love, The Real World, Make Me a Supermodel, or involved in the current production of any such television show, must disclose such information, or you're not eligible to be part of it if you're part of those shows.
Yeah,
or we're part of them.
He ticks that one off. Is there anything on that list, instead of going through it all, is there anything on that list you think he might not qualify?
We might have to finagle our way around.
That's what I'm looking for.
So what is this for exactly?
For
The Bachelor.
Michael's Bachelor.
To be casted as The Bachelor.
Are we applying Michael to The Bachelor?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, cool. I'm in.
And
I think we have to track down some X's though, so we can get.
Okay, we should do that. So we might have to get Cody and Brian. I mean, you know his exes from high school.
Yes.
You in good talking terms with them?
I mean, they follow me. I don't follow them because out of principle.
We might have to hit them up and be like, hey, we need you to come talk about Michael and how he
Yes.
broke your. Serious, but we might have to go to them and be like, hey, we need you to say Michael like broke your heart and how it was the biggest mistake of your life.
No,
letting
they
you
have
go.
to say that he's a great kisser, how touching his muscles are. They have to give the good stuff.
I see Shay all the time.
Name drop.
Yeah, she's
Name drop on the show.
well, so
All right, and then now we're talking about Michael here, but we should also do this for Eric. What do you guys say?
No, Eric
No?
needs.
no, he would not. Yeah.
Eric needs to just be sent a cat in a box. Like, just everybody send him cats. Eric loves cats. Like, that's his jam.
I think Eric would be like the best guy on that show. Girls would be lucky to go on a date with Eric. If my
He's
sister
got
wasn't
a
married,
sweet mustache.
if my sister wasn't married, I would
Yeah.
send him her number.
Eric does have a
Maybe.
nice
I don't know.
mustache. It's like the world's sexiest push broom.
I think he's got a full beard, though, now, right?
Yeah.
I'm sure he does now that he doesn't have to shave daily. Whose do you think's longer, yours or his?
Beard?
Yeah.
I think Eric's beard's longer. I think he might have trimmed it, but I'm not sure.
Well,
Hey, so we have a comment from some fans.
already?
Uh-oh.
Okay, here's one. Has anyone ever told the Cody guy he looks like Shay Carl?
Oh, Shay Carl, that dude's actually Mormon, I believe.
Who's Shay Carl?
I know if it's a girl or a guy. I know who they're talking about. Shaytards. It's like a YouTube channel.
Let's look this up.
Are you a Shaytar, dude?
Shay Carl.
I've never been told that.
It's the facial hair for sure.
It's the facial
but
hair.
Your beard's a bit more red than Shay's is. He's got like a dark brown beard that blends in.
He's a lot taller.
I'll just say this. The only reason, so just so the audience knows, the only reason I'm still growing my beard is I'm running a Spartan race this coming weekend in Boise with Michael, the guy that we've applied to the Bachelor. And so I just really wanted to look like a Spartan. Like, I got kind of like a mohawk hair going on right now. My wife's going to shave the sides down more, so we're going to do that. But next week, hopefully when I get on the podcast with you guys, I'll be clean shaven. We'll see. Depends.
And he does not look like
have a
anyone.
Before and after. I mean, we'll have this new guy on the show look like Babyface.
Yeah, I'll introduce myself.
So sorry, I'm just got my topics because I got topics on this Facebook, not this Facebook, this Google Share Doc. But then I wrote some other stuff on the side here because I don't want you guys to see everything. Robert, I spoke to you and I was like, hey, did you want to discuss something that I wasn't actually aware of until my wife pointed out because I missed it. But you made an announcement on Facebook, a pretty big one. You still game to talk about it?
Yeah.
How are you feeling? Like, what's happened? So let you talk about the announcement, and then let's talk about what's happened since that.
Well, last week, and a lot of people think it's because of the month of June, which to the LGBTQ community or whatever is Pride Month, and I don't know, I woke up with a wild hair, and I said, you know what, a lot of people know me. They like me for who I am, but there's something that they don't know that I really don't never talk about or share, and that's that I'm gay. And so I just decided in the morning, before lunch break, just to go on Facebook and put it out there for the world to see.
Now, I honestly would never have guessed that. I know that you lived with a couple of the guys here, but did you guys have any suspicion or thoughts?
Is that a trap question?
I'm trying not to make it.
Do we have suspicions about Robert?
Yeah.
No, Robert's always just been a really good friend, and he's the best. This is how I'll put it. He's the best wife I never had before Maddie. He cooks really well. He cleans really well. I mean, he's an awesome person. So I would never even say the thought came to my mind, if I'm being honest.
No, I would agree.
I also agree.
I never thought, and I mean, since you made the announcement, I'll be honest with you, I haven't thought about you differently. Like, I still think you're a great guy. It's not like now that you've announced that, I'm just like, well, I don't want to hang out with Robert or include him and stuff. I just still look at you the same way I did before you made the announcement. So, have you noticed any change, like people just treating you differently?
No, and actually, like, I didn't have a fear like that I would be treated differently. I really didn't because, and then to be honest, because I'm from Compton and the way I was raised, I really didn't care, to be honest. But it was like I just had to share to kind of like not anymore cross out, anything in red. You know what I mean? Like this is who I am, fully who I am. If you like it, you like it. If you don't, like I said, I really don't give a damn. But I mean, so far, like no one has treated me different, and I the only group I was kind of worried about was my football buddies that I play with, my teammates, and none of them, they don't. I mean, none of them actually care. So I
That's
mean,
good.
and the yeah, and really the love and support that I got from everyone was, I tell you, it was really overwhelming, to say the least. Like it took me like 2 hours to read through all those comments that I got on Facebook because I mean I was so emotional. I couldn't get through them all.
That's
Yeah.
good. Well, you let us know if anyone ever causes trouble with you, alright? That's why we're here.
Oh yeah. No, and I know you guys have my back 100%.
So how'd the journey be? Like, when did you realize you were gay?
It started actually like most gay people. They usually start finding things different between like 8 and probably 12 is usually when you start recognizing it. And I actually before that time I had girlfriends. I was a little bit of a player. You had those elementary schoolyard girlfriends where you go on the set and make out, or have you had?
Make out in
Make out in
elementary school.
elementary school?
Oh yeah.
Oh,
Well,
this
this
guy's
was in LA, so
progressive.
Yeah,
Bro,
Dallyn's one to talk.
Robert, I know your life, dude. I know your life. I had all those elementary school girls, dude.
and you know what I mean. When you pass out the notes and do you like me? Circle yes or no, and meet me on the playground or whatever. That's the way it was.
Behind the climbing wall, dude.
You guys
Yeah,
had climbing
the ha-
walls?
the ha- the handball court. Meet behind the handball court.
That tether ball.
Yeah, but then like around, I would say for me it was around 8 was when I started to look at guys differently, and then when I hit puberty for sure, I knew what it was,
Mm-hmm.
and it wasn't anything I suppressed, uh, but I never acted upon it or anything like that because of the way I was raised, and
Yeah.
in the black community, I mean we don't talk about it. I mean you just it's not even a topic that you even bring up. So that's the way I dealt with it my whole entire life.
Well, yeah, I mean, I mean, there's not many people watching, but I think it's really intense and hard for someone to come out, especially since you're Mormon. And I mean, you mentioned it in your thing. You felt like you were a unicorn because I mean, you're black, you're Mormon, and you have come out as gay. So
And Republican.
see, I haven't been in America long enough to like know the difference between them much. I just know one's red and one's blue. One's got a donkey, one's
Yeah.
got an elephant. But
Yeah.
I'm still getting there. I'm still learning. But hey, all to you, hey.
But I mean, I will say, like a lot of people, some people did make a comment about me being a Republican. They're like, "We like you because you're gay, but you're still a Republican." You know what I mean?
Yeah,
And I mean, but like I mentioned in that Facebook post, I mean, as a Republican, my personal beliefs are is that you have the right to disagree with me, and that's all good and well. Because all Republicans aren't, in my opinion, we're not painted under one umbrella. People like to do that, but the Republican Party is really diverse. I mean, that's why we come out and we show up. We support our candidates, and so I mean, they do welcome gay people. I mean, I'm here to say like they don't. I mean, they don't discriminate. I mean, they say that because it looks like that, but we really don't. I mean, if you want to be gay and Republican, then you're welcome.
Well, Robert, we're getting some shout outs. from Kendrick Willis saying he knows how you feel.
Yeah.
I don't know if you know him or if he's
Oh
just
yeah, I
even
know.
in some random guy.
I think
Oh, yeah.
okay, so I just pushed the wrong button, and I'm gonna say this right now. I was trying to like do a shout out to Kendrick, and I think I just put the user in timeout for 300 seconds.
You definitely
not even
deleted
joking.
his messages. So
It says that, and I'm looking at it, and it says, Dallyn has deleted your message, and you're in timeout for 300 seconds. So, I'm great. I'm great at this. So, Kendrick, in 300 seconds, could you say that again? And while I try and fix this and take you off timeout, because I did not mean to do that. Hide user. Alright, I'm going to try to fix this, but if Kendrick's still on the show, you know what happened. So, we've been talking for about 45 minutes. Before we go into the game for the week, is there anything else you guys want to talk about? I mean, I like to take each week's chat and kind of like take stuff. Yeah, nice work, Cassie. Thanks for pointing out. Each week's chat that we do in the group chat, and if there's like any big topics, like last week we spoke about which sport is actually manlier and more physically. But this week's group chat has actually not been very hyped. Like there hasn't been much juice. So, is there anything you guys like want to talk about now before we play our little game?
I don't know. I'm going through the chats right now and seeing if I can find anything, but I think for the most part, you're right. We were pretty dead this week.
it's because it's the NFL dead time, dude. There's nothing to talk about.
That's true.
All right, so then we're gonna go straight into our game.
Oh, Giannis for MVP tomorrow.
Yeah,
Oh yeah, the MVP.
it's gonna be Giannis.
That's my
Gotta be.
MVP.
Yeah.
All right, you guys ready for this? Now, I'm gonna give you guys the opportunity right now to either stay or you can drop the video and not participate in the game. But if you do stay, you're committing to participate in this challenge.
Okay.
Oh shit.
Good.
All right, so Robert's
Bring it
in,
on.
Connor's in, Cody's in, Dimas.
Yes, maybe. I have dinner cooking in the stove.
All right, so this is the game. And it's only going to take a little bit of time, and you're not going to do it right now, but you're going to send me a video of you doing it in the next week.
Oh,
So
wow.
you've got a week to do this, but I need you all to pick a number between 1 and 4, and I don't want you guys to pick the same number. So I've got 4 challenges, and you guys can think of a challenge to give me, and I've written them down, but the numbers that are next to them in the Google Doc. So I think that's Dimas in the Google Doc,
Yep.
Anonymous Koala. It's not those numbers. I've changed them here in front of me, and the 4 challenges in that are the 4 challenges I'm going to give to you guys, but you guys don't know which one you have until you tell me.
I want number 2.
So Connor wants 2.
I'll do 3.
Cody's got 3.
I'll do one.
4 then. Wait, did someone say something more? Whatever's left.
Robert, what number you want?
I'll do one.
1. All right. So Robert, number 1 is you need to this next week, and you need to take a video. So you can either do a time lapse video of you doing this, but you gotta send it to me so I can make this into a video and post us doing these challenges. You need to do 30 minutes of yoga, which I feel like is good for you. You can go on campus and do a yoga session on campus with a
Downward dog.
instructor.
Some hot yoga.
Or you can pull up a YouTube video.
You trying to do the splits?
But you gotta do 30 minutes of yoga.
Friday was National Yoga Day, dude.
All right, Robert, you got that this week
I'll do the yoga pants too.
on campus.
Yeah.
I mean, it's yoga pants.
Black ones.
Who picked number 2?
Connor.
Connor. You need to this next week. You need to see how many people you can dance behind without them knowing.
And I need to take a video?
Yeah, without them knowing. So
Interesting.
go to a Walmart and pick someone, and
And,
Dance
and
behind them and see how long
I
you
have
can
to do it a whole week?
Well, see how many you can get done this week.
Oh, man, okay.
Get it recorded without them knowing. If they catch you, I mean, send me the video of them catching you, but... Alright. Who had 3?
Me.
Alright, I think this one actually works pretty good. You need to, this week, get a full makeover. Like, you need... And this one, Robert Cassidy was going to come do you. But you need to get a full makeover. I'm talking contour. I'm talking eyeliner. I don't know all the stuff.
I got you. It'll happen.
Everything.
Lipstick or it didn't happen?
I'm talking drag, okay? So,
You want me to switch my number?
so you gotta go full drag, okay, Cody?
Okay.
What? You got to get a dress.
And the last one that I had here is Dimas. You need to pay for someone's food or a meal for someone. Now, I'll open that up for like groceries if like the person in front of you is like ordering grocery, like paying groceries, like do something crazy like that. I mean, I don't know how
Dimas, you
you're
can
gonna
just
get it done.
Venmo me some money, dude. I'll just...
I mean, I've done it a couple of times. Like, I've gone to Taco Bell and there was a police officer in front of me. So I like on the intercom, I was like, "Hey, how much did they order?" And she was like, "Oh, $4." So I was like, "I'll pay for it." And he got to the pay and he kept driving and said thank you, and I paid for like that. So you could figure out a way to pay for someone's food or groceries or something.
Yeah, my company credit card limit just got bumped up, so I definitely take advantage of that.
All right. So I'd love to see how creative you get with that as well. That sounds good. And I'm gonna give you guys like, I mean, this has to be fair. So I need you guys to give me a challenge.
Hey, can I switch my number with Cody?
No switching. I'm actually looking forward to seeing you in the yoga.
Man. Okay. We got to figure out what Dallyn got to do.
Yeah.
We'll let you know.
You're gonna let me know.
Because you had all week to think about these things.
Well, I actually only started thinking about this before the show with Cassidy. We went through a couple ideas. So.
Just looking up some challenges right now.
Go for it.
There's a couple.
As long as it's appropriate, doesn't get me deported, I'm all game to do it.
That's true.
If you weren't married, I have one, but...
I'm married, and Cassidy is watching this, so...
Sorry, Cass.
We'll have another show, and we'll do this when Michael's on, but we'll have another show that's revolved around old dating stories and stuff like that.
Hey, what if Dallyn does something like get in a like go to like the MC or something and sing "Old MacDonald Had a Farm" or something like that?
MC.
At the top of your lungs.
If I'm gonna sing and the MC, I'm gonna sing a better song than McDonald's, that's for sure.
Yeah, how about that? Yeah.
And Cassidy could film.
Yeah, she can film it.
They have like open mic.
Africa by Toto.
It has to be passed.
Dallyn, sing Africa.
Hey,
Oh, yeah.
is that the challenge you guys are gonna give me? I have to go sing like in a public.
Yep, you got to go sing in the MC. You got to sing Africa.
Hey, if it makes it easier, you could put on headphones and just pretend like you don't know how loud you're singing.
Yeah.
But you have to go on the stage by the piano, though.
I'm gonna find out when open mic night is and do this. All right.
Does that sound good?
Huh. I shouldn't have done this, but yes. Let's do this.
Okay.
All
I'll see you
right.
guys next week.
Enjoy, guys.
All right.
Thanks for joining us.
All right, guys.
Adios, muchachos.
See you guys.
Bye.